And Jones could stay on the floor for some decent minutes here down the stretch.
An 11-0 run by BYU the last 3 minutes. The last 7 points from the free throw line. Lamb in the game. Bounce pass down low. Josh Smith spins his way and pulls it up and misses the shot. It's tipped back up and in. That ends an 11-0 run that the Cougars had been on. Fredette, beautiful pass inside, and then a foul on Jimmer. Is that number 4?
Josh Smith takes the chance, gets himself in position. That's his 10th offensive charge taken this season to lead the UCLA Bruins in that category. Here's Fredette going to take off. Smith, it's a real bang-bang, close call kind of a play. The Bruins get the benefit on this one. Looks like Smith is set just before Jimmer takes off to make the pass.
Fredette tried to wave off Dave Rose from taking him out of the game, but Dave thought better, and he knew that there's 9:44 left, and he took Fredette out of the game. That's the season-high 16th turnover for Brigham Young today.
Well, you're down 4, so you're gonna watch that lead. If UCLA pulls it to within, 8, 9 points, then you get Fredette right back in the game.
Lazarick Jones for 3. Are you kidding me?
Fredette's not gonna stay down for long. Maybe one more possession if the Cougars don't score this time down the floor.
Davies throws it away. A terrible pass down in that low block. Bruins back up by 7 and with the basketball nearing the 9-minute mark.
Jared Jones, nice job. Honeycutt finds him wide open on the left wing. I love the way this young man, Jared Jones, first of all, strokes the basketball, and he's not afraid to take the big shot in a tough situation. Tough Chicago team.
It's no surprise, Marcus, that UCLA on a 5-0 run with the starters back in, and now Smith will be at the free throw line. Oh, and a little bit of a jawing match between Smith and Magnuson.
Good job by Jared Jones and Josh Smith's teammates getting him away from Magnuson. Nice job on the post feed, get it down low for the big guy. Great hands on the inside. And it's a hack-a-shack. It's just grabbing from behind. It's not a dirty play. It's a good aggressive play by Magnuson. Stop the point-blank layup, make him have to knock down a couple of free throws.
Smith only a 56% foul shooter.
He better get used to that. He's going to see a lot of that.
But he's 4 for 5 today. Make it 5 for 6 at an important time in this game. 9 minutes to play. BYU cut a 13-point lead all the way down to 2, but the starters came back in all 3 playing 4 fouls.
So that gamble Coach Ben Howland took, putting those starters back in with the 4 fouls, have paid off so far. Dave Rose has taken Jimmer Fredette out of the game, just how long he leaves him on the bench.
6 straight points for UCLA. Jackson Emery on the drive. He's a clever player.
Yeah, I like him. He's just very under control, known more for his defense, even though he averages 11 points a game. Goes strong to the basket, can knock down the open 3-point shot.
He has 12 of his 14 points in this second half.
You need to try, I think, in front Josh Smith when you're playing low post defense between Magnuson and Davies on the inside. You can allow him to get those touches right there at the basket.
I'll tell you, Tyler Lamb has done a very good job today with the entry passes down low.
Freshman to freshman, taking it to the big guy's side, the left side of the floor every time.
Fredette on the sideline. Emery's been picking him up with Jimmer on the sideline. Jackson Emery. In and out, no good. Ooh, and Smith went down hard.
Foul on the play.
Foul on Logan Magnuson. That is his 3rd personal foul. Meantime, that talented backcourt, Fredette and Emery have 33 of the team's 61 points.
And a good job by Josh Smith rebounding out of his area. A lot of guys can grab a basketball that comes right to them, right down to him. He had to maneuver about 3 feet to his left to pluck that rebound. And at 305 pounds, 6 feet 9, 6 feet 10 inches tall, not an easy thing to do.
Smith posting up down low. Honeycutt takes the 3, misses. Smith tries for it, and he barely missed his 5th foul. He tried to lean away. Is that a foul? Did they call a foul?
I don't think so. I think Dave Rose wanted the foul. Dave Rose thought it was a foul. He's still complaining to the official. There's Emery going in hard with the left hand. And then big Josh Smith creating space on the inside. The space eater, the big fella, taking up room.
What if your TV went beyond TV? Beyond web apps? Beyond anything you'd seen before? Introducing Philips Media Connect. Wirelessly connecting everything on the internet and everything on your PC to your TV.
This season, let's lose the foe. No fake trees. No phony trucks. Just real proven power. The kind that comes from the legendary Ram. Just in time for the holidays.
Right now, get 0% financing or up to $4,500 total cash allowance on 2010 Ram light and heavy-duty trucks.
What's that?
Oh, you mean this giant check for 522 big ones? It's just the staggering amount of money I save people on average when they call me, the saver, to switch their car insurance to Esurance.
You mean the same amount they save when they switch to Esurance online?
Do we have any giant envelopes?
Cost $522.
You take a check?
You could save 522 big ones. See for yourself at Esurance. Technology when you want it, people when you don't.
I'm Kevin Love, and you're watching the John Wooden Classic.
Kevin Love's old team is trying to hand BYU their first loss of the year. Love met Coach Wooden, and these were Coach's cornerstone messages in his pyramid of success. Industriousness. There is no substitute for work. Worthwhile results come from hard work, careful planning, and of course, enthusiasm, which is your middle name, Marcus.
Thank you so much, Steve. But Coach Wooden insisted upon that. Practices were always competitive, but fun.
Well, this has been a competitive and fun game that we've had a chance to watch today. Davies trying to get the kick foul on Smith and knocks him down.
In between Emery and Davis, they have scored 22 BYU's points in this half. Jimmer Fredette, as we talked about, been shut out, and Dave Rose going to continue to keep him on the bench. So that's a kind of a gamble by Dave Rose, keep his All-American out of the ball game down 6. So I guess it still feels like he's got some leeway, yet still.
Meantime, Honeycutt, Jones, and Smith all on the floor playing with 4 fouls. And what a feed by Smith to Honeycutt. They get it to Lane, who scores.
Nice interior passing, the extra pass on the interior. Now here comes Coach Holland, and what he loves to do, call a timeout after a made basket to set his defense.
Well, with 3 players picking up their 4th foul, UCLA went 4 minutes scoreless since then. Those players came back in. UCLA has 10 points in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
And that's what you love about Honeycutt and Josh Smith even. It's a great vision of the play to be able to see an opening before it happens, to see a play develop before it actually materializes.
Ben Howland took his team into one of the toughest arenas in college basketball. Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. They lost by 177-76. You saw how good they can play. Then they come home and played one of their worst game of the year, losing to Montana. Now they are holding their own against a very good Brigham Young team. So color them green, but they are also filled with potential.
Let's see if this rest for Jimmer Fredette helps his legs. He's been short on about 3 jump shots in a row.
Davies trying to pick up that 5th on Smith. He has scored in back-to-back possessions.
And BYU still in great position, just down 6, but they've got to try and solve the Bruins offensively. That's been the puzzle for Brigham Young that they've had issues with, especially now with Honeycutt, Nelson, and Smith on the floor at the same time.
Fredette back on the floor, playing with 4 fouls. Smith gets it down low and powers it up, and no. Tips it up, no. Josh gets it back.
Big Josh!
And he'll be at the free throw line for a couple of shots.
I mean, just all over the top. You know, Dave Rose, once again, just can't believe he got his arms folded, not understanding why no over-the-back foul is not called. But watch Big Josh right there power through. Could have been an offensive foul, wasn't called right there, just being aggressive, battling for the ball. I like the fact the officials are letting Big Josh play. You know, don't hate him because he's big.
Like I said, they want him to be a teddy bear that becomes a grizzly bear.
Papa Grizzly. Nice form on that shot. I mean, a great rotation. Elbow right there, lined up over that right leg if you're a right-handed shooter like you're supposed to do.
He led Kenwood High School to the state championship last year, overpowering his opponents at his size at 6'10", and at that time 350 pounds. Fans, you're watching the John R. Wooden Classic. Number 16 BYU unbeaten this year at 10-0 against UCLA at 5-4. Steve Physiok, Marcus Johnson, and Rebecca Harlow at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Kyle Collinsworth getting it off to the right side to brother Chris, who misses the jumper. But there is Davies, who's played so well. 12 of his 14 in the second half.
Again, the Cougars of BYU, they keep titting for tatting. Every time the Bruins make a nice play on the inside, BYU's come back and have been able to answer at their end of the floor.
Smith out. Nelson in, working that low post with Brandon Lane.
You know, the issue is you can't keep exchanging buckets. Somebody's got to string together a couple of stops for UCLA to put some space between them and the Cougars, to Brigham Young to get back in this game and have a chance to win.
Pretty move by Lazarick Jones to push the Bruins back up by 8. Davies. Wow, he has been sensational in the second half.
Yeah, I love this young player. He's going to be a terrific player. Long, 6'8", long arms, terrific athleticism, and just a great knack inside for scoring the basketball.
Dave Rose is going to the hot hand right now, and it's inside to 6'9" Brandon Davies. Here's Tyler Honeycutt for 3. He hit 5 in Lawrence, Kansas against the Jayhawks.
Talking about not afraid to take a big shot.
Jimmer Fredette, tough shot. And that's just his 4th points of the second half and his first field goal of the second half. He now has 21.
And a tough angled leaner by Jimmer Fredette. But again, it's defense for BYU. They've got to play defense to have a chance to win this game. UCLA did a nice job attacking their zone.
Malcolm Lee missed the 3, but there's Honeycutt, knocked out. And finally grabbed by Brigham Young. It's Jackson Emery looking to the right for Chris Collinsworth. Instead, it's Fredette inside. And Collinsworth is smashed. He'll be at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Good unselfish play. First Jackson Emery going to find his twin, Jimmer Fredette, on the right wing. Jimmer passes up on the jump shot. Sees a wide open Collinsworth inside. And then good job by Reeves Nelson. Good, clean, hard foul. Collinsworth trying to dunk the basketball. Nelson. And I think Lee just kind of collapsing on him. I think the foul was on Malcolm Lee.
Josh Smith coming back in, and he's been on the floor. UCLA has stretched their lead, so Lane goes to the sideline, giving Ben Howland 2 options down low, either Reeves Nelson or Josh Smith.
It's a different UCLA team than I saw against Montana in the game. They lost at home. And even Cal Poly Pomona, San Luis Obispo, I mean, they didn't have this kind of pep in their step, this kind of execution, this kind of intensity and focus and energy that Kansas lost, the way they lost that game, took a lot out of them.
Reeves Nelson is hit, and he'll be at the free throw line for a pair of shots.
And a lot of it had to do with Reeves Nelson. He's the guy that, you know, didn't have a good game against Kansas, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Some criticism of him, of yelling at teammates, being a good teammate, but here this game he has just been the consummate teammate at both ends.
He's had a tough time from the free throw line recently. Jimmer Fredette with 4 fouls, 3 players for UCLA with 4 fouls, all of them starters. Nelson makes 1 of 2, improves the lead to 7, 20 points for Reeves Nelson, 1 under his career high.
Josh Smith, Brandon Davis get tangled up inside.
Honeycutt defending Kyle Collinsworth.
Malcolm Lee, nice job with the blanket over Fredette, not allowing him to touch the basketball.
This time Davies can't finish. Reeves Nelson down the floor. Look at that move. And pass to Malcolm Lee.
What a luxury, Steve. What a luxury to have two inside players like Honeycutt and that time Reeves Nelson that can get it off the glass and go coast to coast and create something for a team. And nice little juke right before midcourt to get past Davies. Now you've got a 3-on-1. It's just kind of, you know, pick your poison. You got Honeycutt on the right side, Lee on the left side. Defender hedges toward Honeycutt, give it up to Lee, and the easy finish with the left hand, but all facilitated by the ball handling skills of Reeves Nelson.
3.5 minutes left of this college basketball game. UCLA by 9. Let's go to Rebecca Harlow.
Malcolm Lee bringing it on both ends of the floor certainly today, but he's also been the calming force during timeouts down here on the sideline. And, you know, heading into the season, he had the highest GPA on the team, and it was partly why Holland named him captain. The message to the Bruins was that you got to take care of business in the classroom to take care of the basketball as well. And the players tell me they've got a whole lot of respect for Lee, what he's bringing to this game on and off the floor.
And Rebecca, Ben Howland told me yesterday he would start Malcolm on Jimmer Fredette, and he said he has the ability to be a great defender, and I think he's going to do a terrific job. He's done a wonderful job here in the second half. A foul against BYU on a push-off. UCLA continues their advantage. They lead by 9. Tyler Honeycutt, one of their stars, hitting a 3 outside. It's the Bruins trying to knock off number 16 BYU.
Give me that bod. Check out that bod. I want your bod. Bodman fragrance spray.
You care to dance?
With both of you?
He's just my helping hands. When you buy one original chicken sandwich at Burger King, you get a second one free. My hands are full with juicy premium chicken.
I don't know, this just doesn't feel...
Shh. Let's just go with it.
It's a hands full. Buy one original chicken sandwich, get one free only at Burger King.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Bodman fragrance spray.
The John Wooden Classic is presented by KFC. Give yourself the gift of time this season with the KFC Festive Feast. Have a so good holiday and leave the cooking to us. And brought to you in part by Verizon 4G LTE, the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America. Welcome back to the John R. Wooden Classic. The fans standing and applauding the memory of the greatest coach in college basketball history. It's time now for our Jimmer Fredette. He's the focus of our Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Pulling up long jumper to start the game off. Had to make some believers out of UCLA. Also the ability to make the tough shots go into the hole. See a couple of nice spin plays off the backboard right there. But the Bruins have done a great job in the second half. Fredette 6 for 8 in the first half, 1 for 5 from the field in the second half. So not a typical evening of scoring for Jimmer Fredette. Give the Bruins defense a lot of credit, Malcolm Lee in particular.
UCLA will still have the basketball. This game can be very important for UCLA's future, because to knock off a top 20 team to improve the Bruins RPI rating.
Huge, huge. It's a terrific win again for UCLA. This conference has kind of struggled, been close in a lot of instances. UCLA close in Kansas. They played Villanova close back in New York.
But then they had the terrible loss to Montana by 9. They'll next take on Montana State on Tuesday. And then they've got the Pac-10 opener December 29th against a very good Washington State team. Lazarus Jones inbounds to Reeves Nelson. Brigham Young being a little more active with their defense, and Jimmer Fredette will extend his defense on Lazarus Jones as UCLA wants to work the clock a little bit more in the late stages of this game.
You got to get Brigham Young out of that zone, which UCLA has done.
Great feed inside from Tyler Honeycutt to Reeves Nelson. Will they count the basket? I think the foul was prior to.
Get him out of the zone, and then you go to the guy that has played so effective the entire afternoon. Reeves Nelson, nice seal on the inside. Great post feed out top from Tyler Honeycutt. That's about all you have left. It looks like it could have been an intentional foul. That was not a play on the basketball. Why was that not an intentional?
Fourth foul on Brandon Davies. Reeves Nelson has just tied his career high with point number 21. He's done it 3 times, and now for a career best. Nope, but there's Honeycutt. Brigham Young rebounds. Jimmer Fredette working on Malcolm Lee. Look at the defense by Lee. Here's Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, great defense. I mean, Malcolm Lee shadowed him footstep for footstep up this right sideline, and then Jimmer stopped on a dime. Malcolm stopped on a dime. Malcolm stopped on a nickel.
And we're seeing visions of how great Lee can be to this team, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, where you win so many games. Fredette was fouled prior to the drive, so not sure. Let's see how many team fouls that is. That's a 9, so Fredette will have 1 plus the penalty, and with Jimmer that usually means 2 shots.
And you got some scouts on the next level here looking at Jimmer Fredette, looking at some of these UCLA underclassmen for the future and for the present. And they've got to be impressed with Malcolm Lee and the focus that he has shown. He's got the quick feet, and he's so long. The arms are so long. He can give you a little bit of a cushion and still bother your shot and not allow you to get the blow by because of that cushion.
Fredette makes them both. Cuts the lead to 8. He has 23 points, right at his average. Came in number 6 in the nation in scoring, but 17 of his 23 came in the first 20 minutes. Kyle Collinsworth almost had the steal.
You want to be deliberate with your offense, but you still want to attack and take advantage of the bigs inside.
Lazarus Jones missing the 3, but I think Malcolm Lee had a hand in the back of Jackson Emery and pushed off. That will be the 4th foul on Lee.
See, that's the thing, Steve, that gets me is that Reeves Nelson so effective down on the post and out on the perimeter. Josh Smith effective in the post. Yeah, you're being deliberate. You're taking time off the clock, but you can still dump it inside. You can still throw it down inside. And you don't have to settle for the long jump shot. You still got to go inside out, which has been your most effective approach to offense in this game.
Jackson Emery at the free throw line, a 70% foul shooter. Been terrific in the second half, keeping Brigham Young in the game and keeping them close inside of 2 minutes now. And 13 of his 15 have come after halftime. This is the second foul shot. Honeycutt with the rebound. Jones taking his time, bringing it into the forecourt, and Ben Howland shouts out the offensive call. Oh, bad pass by the Bruins. Jones was wondering why he threw it to him so hard. Ben Howland hoping his team has enough for the last 132 of this game. The All-American candidate Fredette in the forecourt.
I think Coach Wooden always preached was having some poise. UCLA needs to find that down the stretch to keep this lead.
Oh, what a shot. He is just uncanny with his moves going to the basket.
I tell you, the first couple of times you're like, oh, that was luck. And then after about the 5th or 6th time, okay, well, maybe not. Then it becomes just a regular part of his arsenal. You learn to accept the fact that he's just a tough shot maker. But it's been a tough afternoon here because of this guy, Malcolm Lee, on Jimmer Fredette.
And even though he looks like he's out of control, his balance is remarkable. Lazarus Jones between the circles. Reeves Nelson on the drive. Finds Honeycutt. And Tyler finds Nelson. Who throws it down?
That's basketball, baby. That's basketball. You're still attacking. You're being deliberate. A little give and go. Old school. Low top black Converse. The big, thick, off yellow socks. Here's the give. Here comes the go. Up and over with power by Reeves Nelson.
This is the 5th foul on Brandon Davies, so he is gone. A new career high for Reeves Nelson with points 22 and 23 on this slam.
Going through him like he was a toothpick.
Fans plan to join us Wednesday night as we'll be bringing you the nation's 3rd-ranked Kansas team in a Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series game against a young Cal Bears team. That game will feature Jayhawks freshman Josh Selby. Today, his much anticipated debut against USC. 21 points, 5 3-pointers, including the game winner against the Bears' Harper Camp, who averaged 13.5 points per game and leads the Pac-10 in free throw shooting by hitting 91.7.
Inauspicious debut for Josh Selby. 21 points, your first game back, including the game-winning 3-point shot. Gives you an idea how talented Josh Selby is. Look at Josh
Smith with the steal. Can you believe it?
High speed inside again, but Josh Smith, Jimmer Fredette has been caught sleeping 3 times in this game. Once by Malcolm Lee early on. Lazarick Jones picked him on a crossover. Now watch here. Josh Smith's on him, kind of got his head up, kind of surveying, and as he surveys, Josh Smith is playing the role of the Artful Dodger with the pilfer.
A Charles Dickens classic. I was watching Josh Smith on the steal, and he had a big smile on the face. There was one person in this building who had a bigger smile. Ben Howland, his coach.
Tiny Tim, you got Tiny Josh.
Jimmer Fredette. Missing the 3. Honeycutt rebounding, then gets fouled at the 42nd mark. This would be a stunning upset. The first defeat of the year for Dave Rose, who came in unbeaten and 10-0, beating Arizona, a very good Pac-10 school, by 22 1 week ago.
And a much-needed shot in the arm for the Pac-10. His RPI was about, I think, 8th or 9th in some ratings behind the Mountain West and other conferences because of their inability to put out these kinds of signature wins, getting close but not closing the deal.
This season against ranked teams, number 7 Villanova, really good this year. They lost by 12. Kansas, they lost only by 1 in a game that could have gone either way. And today they are leading number 16 BYU, but it's the other one, that Montana, that really has haunted them because they've got to be able to play more consistently, and that will come. This is a team, one of only 12 in the nation, that does not have a senior. Josh Smith, the 18-year-old freshman from Kent, Washington, has been terrific.
For UCLA, also Reeves Nelson has just played a masterful game, especially as the offensive end of the floor, rebounding the basketball, pushing it up in transition, finishing strong at the rim, showing the proper emotion at the proper time.
And he's been balanced. He had 12 in the first half, 13 in the second half. Let's now go to Rebecca Harlow.
Well, you guys are talking about how this is a shot in the arm for UCLA. Well, I was talking to assistant coach Scott Garson, and he said the biggest step UCLA needed to make was learning how to close games, finish games, win ball games. He said in practice they go through pressure situations like this. He said, but it's not anything you can emulate until you're actually in the ball game. So from a confidence perspective, this was exactly what this team needed. They've got a lot of young guys with a lot of heart. This is really going to help them with their season.
and Rebecca, they also believe that there is a greater chemistry on this team with the youngsters and upperclassmen like Jeremy Anderson and well, there's not too many upperclassmen, really. Malcolm Lee, but there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores on that sideline and on the floor right now.
Yes, indeed.
How about this John R. Wooden Classics? We've seen 17 great years of games in this building.
Coach Wooden would be